Hello and welcome to this channel. In this video, we are going to be discussing the Doris allegation, Doris evidence, many of the nude video being released by Doris, and so many important information that you actually need to know at this point, because we are going to be explaining from the foundation, the marriage of Doris, the beating allegations, so many important information that many of you have missed. That is what we are going to be discussing in the course of this video. Yes, but if you have not yet subscribed, do well to click the subscribe button, do well to like this video, do well to share this video, and let's go. So let us start with Dr. Chris Okafor. Dr. Chris was born on the 4th of April 1970 and is currently 55 years old, because we are actually going to be making use of his age to actually judge some certain things. Yes, and he founded his church back in 2003, the Mountain of Liberation and Miracle Ministry in Lagos, where he actually grew up. And today he actually has many branches. He has been able to actually meet with ministers, and his church has flourished. And there have been many allegations concerning Doris Ogala being felt abandoned, felt used, condemned, and scammed. And that is the reason why we will need to actually spread out this matter, to actually see many of these allegations. Because when you promise somebody of wanting to get him married to the person and the person is scammed, according to Doris now, when you're actually giving money to actually give to somebody, but you held on to the money, decide to hold the money to yourself without releasing it out. This is majorly the reason why we are making this video. And all of this started with just pictures of some certain people, Chris Okafor and his new wife, talking about the fact that they have proposed to each other and they are getting married. And because of this proposal and getting married to each other, this caused problem all over the internet.
Okafor, I will not marry you. Somebody should go tell Chris Okafor that he will not marry you, not lie you. What are you leaving me for? No, forget about saying clouds or no cloud. I've not slept since yesterday. That I had to deactivate myself to think this thing through. What are you leaving me for now? Okay, shame here. You people can insult me for all you care. And let me know what is going on with my life. Since this man fought me, my life has not been the same. I lost my younger brother.
And this was when Doris actually came out and said, see, I am going to expose every of the thing that you have done to me. I'm going to come out for you. And this is not the first time that Doris has actually called out Dr. Chris Okafor. He has actually called him out around 2024 for money, which we are still going to get into. But this time around, he actually called her out that after all the promises that you actually made to me, that you are actually going to get married to me, and there are chat evidences of all of these things. There are spoken evidences of all of these things, where you actually made mention of the fact that you are actually going to get married to me. But all of this is futile. And she came out to the general public to say, no, it cannot happen. That you guys will actually get married together. It won't happen. Not under my watch will you guys get married to each other. And I can actually look at how this particular girl who was in love was being used. And in as much as she has her own problem, in as much as she did a lot too in that relationship, and she has her fault too, I felt like she was just being used, and she's also a victim in all of this. But let us get started. The first wife of Chris Okafor, they got married and they got separated in 2012. And there were allegations from different quarters that actually assumed that Chris Okafor was actually beating this woman. But there was another news from Chris Okafor's quarters that actually states that this particular woman in question, Basem Okafor, was actually cheating, and that Chris Okafor actually caught her cheating on their matrimonial bed, and that was the reason why he actually filed for a divorce. And if we are going to assume that that is the case, let us just move on with that, because the woman was actually talking about the fact that she left the marriage due to beating from Chris Okafor. But Chris Okafor is actually making it known that it is as a result of infidelity that she actually left the marriage. So it is one against one. We don't know who to believe. And because there is no evidence or tangible evidence of all of this, we don't actually know who to actually blame or believe in all of this scenario. But there was a particular event that happened in which, after their divorce, 9 months later, Asem Okafor has been trying her possible best to actually meet with her kids. It happened that during their relationship together, they had 4 children together. They gave birth to 4 children together, and these 4 children have not been able to meet their mother after 9 months. They decided to work it out with the court, and they actually said, let them be meeting once in a while, and they gave them time to be meeting. So these two actually decided that okay, this particular day you were going to come around, and she came around thinking she was going to meet her children. But unfortunately, till like 10 in the night, the children were not available. And the husband got home around 10 p.m. in the night, which was already late. She didn't see the children, and by 12 in the midnight, the children came home. And while they came home, the children were happy to meet with their mother. They played with their mother. She braided them, and they went to sleep. There was no chance to actually relate with their mother that much before they went to sleep. And while they woke up in the morning, she bathed with the children. She took care of them as she normally does. The children were happy, and she actually promised her kids that she was not going to leave because they still actually wanted to play. And because of mother's love, she decided to stay in the house and waited. It happened that the security of Chris Okafor came to the house and they wanted her to leave. But she said, I actually want to just meet with my daughters. I actually want to have time to play with my children. Nothing else. Let me wait till they come back. But she didn't leave. And because the security cannot actually push her or send her out, he actually waited. And few hours down the line, Chris Okafor himself came in and actually came. And according to her story, she actually made it known that he actually looked her in the eye and beat her up. She beat her up to pop. She reported the case to the police station, and she came out to general public to share a story with Pauls back then. And still, even with the evidence, it was not charged. He even actually made it known that the reason why she actually made it, and because of influence and all of these things, let us assume that that was what actually played back then. But even with all of this, he didn't suffer for it, right? Because he actually made it known that they actually had the time ready. She was supposed to have left the house, but she was still invading their privacy. And to be very honest, she was doing that because that was not her house any longer. But even though this was your ex-wife, but we just have to move on. Apart from that, there have been other allegations like the faking of his kidnap. Back in 2012, it was said that he actually went for a crusade in Hawker, Anambra State. Actually made the announcement during a telephone conversation to his ministry member back in Ojudu, Lagos, that he had actually been kidnapped. And out of the church money, they actually used 50 million naira to actually allegedly pay for ransom out of the church savings. From there, many people started donating and all of these things. It was later that they actually found out that by the time he was coming back like nothing actually happened to him. It was coming back like nothing really happened. So many people were questioning the kidnap story, that was he actually kidnapped? There was no physical sign. He was looking fresh, healthy, well-fed. It actually raised so many suspicions. Many people were actually saying that nothing actually happened, no crossfire within the security. Identity of alleged escort, none of them was produced. Based on different observations, many people were making claims that he actually faked his kidnapped. And apart from that, so many people have actually also made claims that this particular man of God in question has also been using the manufacturing of tortoise in church. So how does this happen? He will actually tell you to bring sand, and the sand that you actually bring, probably I don't know where it gets the sand from, but there's a way the sound itself will actually turn itself to tortoise. And tortoise will be flowing inside the churches, and he will be claiming that this is the power of God happening. And he actually did it with one particular man where he actually went for a church program, where he met with the church program. He prophesied to that particular man in question. And while he prophesied to this man in question, the man was, oh, this man of God is good. This man of God is good. And because he did that, he collected his number and told him that there's a particular problem in their father's house that they actually need to settle. And because he actually made that known, you'll be scared and the man is actually rich. And because the man was rich, he actually tempted that man to come to Lagos. And because that man came to Lagos, he was able to extort that man, collect money from him, and in his front, he collected his sound that man actually brought, because he said he should go to his father's house and go and bring sound. That man brought sound, and in his front, he turned it to a tortoise. Many people have actually made claims of this, that tortoise is one thing that was actually trendy back then. That there's a way you actually change it with sound, there's a way it makes the sound together and it changes to tortoise. So this was what was trending back then, but right now it has stopped. And also there was this allegation again. This man of God has actually gone through different allegations. And to be very honest, the more you continue to dig deep, the more you get to go crazy. There was this particular time, about 6 years ago, that a particular video trended of this man of God making use of a woman who is known to fake miracles. So she will go to different churches and make use of this particular woman who knows how to put in her hands in and bring it out and straighten it. If not for the advent of social media and the correlation of this same video with this particular woman, this same woman going to different churches to actually make all these claims. Let's just watch the video.
So watching this particular video, this particular woman in question has the capacity to actually make her hand straight. Like, with the way you are looking at her right now, she has that capacity to make her hand straight by herself. So she now looks like an actor that is being rented by these churches. And even for the advent of social media, probably she would have headed to other churches to actually continue with this trick, because she has that capacity to straighten it by herself. And she has gone to about 6 churches that she performed this same miracle. And so I'm just going to show you, I'm going to skip this part and show you where her hand became straightened, and when Pastor Chris actually did the same thing and her hand became straightened. And so this is her hand getting straightened by herself. See the way the people are rejoicing. See the way people are glad that the hand had become normal. Now let's go to Pastor Chris' home. And to be very honest, this is the kind of thing that actually bring more members to the church. Just take a look at this. The same way the first miracle happened is the same way this man actually prophesied about so many things. And after he did prophesy, he said the hand was straightened, and he prayed and the hand got straightened. This same woman did the same thing for about 5 different churches, if not more. It is just the one that recorded it that we know. The one that didn't record it, we don't know. You understand? So sometimes I'm asking the question, is it that these pastors are falling victims of this particular woman, or that she's being paid to actually carry out this job? So we already know the truth. But let me know what you think in the comment section. So let's move on.
Apart from this, there's also other been allegations, different prophecies that have been fake, and many people actually bringing out different story up and down. Very honest, by the time you continue to dig deeper into this story, the more you go crazy. I promise you. I was shocked hearing many of these stories. But there are facts to this. So after knowing some of his dark past, let us move on to the relationship between himself and Doris Ogala. And so moving on to Doris Ogala had her own share in being badly behaved and the fact that she didn't also do well in some certain facts. But we are going to be talking about that. According to Doris Ogala's story, she actually made it known that she was actually dating her ex-boyfriend, her ex-husband, but this man was maltreating her. She maltreated her and was beating her every now and then. Particular point in time that this particular man in question, who is the husband, who is now the ex-husband, beat her in her stomach. And while she beat her in her stomach, this woman miscarried a pregnancy that she had for him in 2013. She said she miscarried the pregnancy, and she actually told the family of the man about it because they know her already. She was already with the family, they are friends already, they are family members. They told her that everybody thought she was lying until she called her mother, who came to actually save her, and she miscarried that pregnancy. And ever since that time, she has been trying to actually carry new pregnancy. She has carried different pregnancy, and she has miscarried all of them. Until now, she doesn't have a child. She doesn't have a child. And that was the major reason why she actually quit a relationship with that man in the first place. And from there, around 2017, himself and Doris Ogala met. And while they met through the connection of a friend, they became very much close. They collected the exchange numbers and they became closer. They started talking to each other until they went to their family house. From the family house for a particular program, whether it's a burial program or something, they went to Anambra State, and that was the first time they kissed. And from that moment, they started dating. They started dating in church, and sometimes they have sex with each other. They mark themselves, even as this man is still a pastor on the pulpit. And according to her, she says she has documented evidence of all of these events. And I'm looking at this particular story, and to be very honest, it's just crazy. It's just very, very crazy. The fact that this particular man is going to do this to somebody that is an actress, right? And you'll be having a relationship with that particular person, and some people know about the relationship, while some people don't. But after a while, because Dr. Chris decided that she was not going to marry her yet, though he actually wanted her to wait for him, because according to him, he's actually making it known that has to start having to think about marriage, and she actually wants them to grow older before she actually gets married to Doris Ogala. But Doris was like, "You are wasting time. There's a pressure from the family and all of this," and that was why she gave in to her ex-husband. She was in love. She gave her life to Doris Ogala, thinking like the cover up of a particular woman that they did with Winnie, that they sent that woman to jail. This particular picture that you are seeing right now. And many people are now asking questions that this event that happened, that you guys are now paying 40 million naira for her for, or 35 million naira for her for, that you guys covered back then. What is it? But because they actually had to cover the shame between Dr. Chris, Prophet Omoto Fufuyin, Jeremiah Omoto Fufuyin, the event actually went on that back then. And she said that she actually did it because Dr. Chris told her to do it. I really want to know about the truth, what actually went wrong. It's still very, very confusing, but I know that with the way things are going, we will get to see the secret. Probably it's that child that died back then that the head is actually crying. Because you cannot cover this kind of secret forever. But let us move on. So she actually did like an agent work for Dr. Chris and Jeremiah Omotofuyin, according to her. All of these things that have been said is according to her testimony. I'm not actually pushing out anything that is new. So if anybody is going to be attacked, it should be her, not anybody that is talking about it. So according to her, she actually made it known that that was the case back then, that she became an agent for them and she did their job. And they were dating. Doris Ogala will be in church and she will be in service. And recently, in the current video that she even made it known that one day she actually called an actress to come. That he actually called an actress to come. And Doris was actually seated with that particular actress in question, and they sat down together in church. It looked like film. And he was shaking on the altar, according to Doris. He was shaking on the altar. The two of them were seated together like this, and he was shaking on the altar. And at the end of the service, the actress that called him was trying to call him that, "Oh, I'm here." He was not picking. And because she was in Doris' car, he actually now said, "Okay, let me call him for you." They called the man, and the man picked, and he told her that they're actually looking for you. And now it was a different conversation for both of them at different ends. So these were some of the things that Doris was actually exposing. And according to her, she says she actually has evidence to back up her words. All of her chat, all of these things. And right now, she has even started showing evidences. Imagine showing Pastor Chris actually with his clothes removed in his room. You don't just have that kind of pictures if you are not close to that kind of person. And she's actually even making it known that because her nudes is currently out in the general public space in their private chat, that he actually released her nudes, he's also going to do that to the general public. And right now, it's now a fight of who has the power. And to be very honest, this case is just getting more interesting. Apart from the fact that these guys even nagged each other, Doris is actually making it known that there are receipts of these two being together, of him telling Chris that she was pregnant, and of him telling him that she has actually miscarried the pregnancy, meaning that she miscarried for the normal husband, for Dr. Chris. And to be very honest, I'm looking at this story and it's just very, very sad what the pit has actually turned into. And all of this just started because the man just decided to remarry. And while Doris was actually married to the husband, she didn't love the husband. That one was maltreating him. Well, that one was maltreating her. There were days of punches, beating, slapping, eating. It now looks like she's the only one that they were beating in this world. All the man that she's beating, that man just they beat her, use her, do you cuckoo. And because of that, there is no even love. But this man will actually try to, force himself on her, but it was not like it was intentional. She would just stand like, who that one will do it, he won't do, will come out. And even in that marriage, she could not actually blame him because her heart was not there. It was not like she actually did love him. You understand? So you could not actually blame him that one now actually went outside and cheated and got married. And even in that marriage, she also miscarried another pregnancy. Like, she had gone through so much. I listened to her story and I was feeling pity for her. She miscarried another pregnancy in the marriage. She miscarried pregnancy before she got married. She miscarried pregnancy while in marriage. She miscarried pregnancy for Chris Okafor. It's crazy. Really, really crazy. So, she said she didn't actually give out much in the marriage. She didn't give out at times. She didn't give out what was it called. So this one was just beaten. And because it was beating her, it got to one point, as in the marriage, she said she was not doing it again. And that one, they came to beg, and she said, okay, she's going to come back. Because she was not actually giving her the emotional support and the emotional feeling, because of the beating and every of these things. Because their relationship was just one kind, there was no emotional support, it was not like they actually did love each other and all of this beating. This man was cheating outside. He was cheating with another woman outside. And he even paid the bride price for that particular woman. So one day, the man just came in with the wife, and he came in with the wife and she was hungry. She said she was actually going to put acid on the child. And because of that, she chased her out. And that one even came and slapped her and told her that she's also a wife. That they had actually paid her bride price also. And he looked at the husband. You mean you had actually paid the bride price for this one? But you could not actually blame him that much because she knows that she was also communicating with Chris at that particular point in time. Are you seeing that all of them get issue for this? Because during their marriage, the only person that was of comfort that they actually still sent nudes to each other while they were married. And today, this guy still possesses her nude. You understand that? He sent to her. And that was why she was angry when her nude actually came out and released the picture of him, telling him that she will actually release it to the world. He's new to the world. So it has been an ugly fight. But these two were probably in love at one point. Or let's see that she was in love with him. And after one day, beating her fully well, eating her, and blood came out, the next day she decided to leave the marriage and told him that he was no more doing it again. And so the marriage ended. So the only place that she could go to again was Pastor Chris. Pastor Chris booked a flight for her, and she went to Lagos, and that night they knocked. They knocked, and for 4 days in the hotel they were together, and they knocked. And to be very honest, I'm just wondering, like, God. And oh God, it's very, very hard to now trust men of God, to be very honest. Because all of this that she's saying is reproof, according to her. So they knocked again. And after their meeting, they were together, started going to church together, and they will sit. Pastor will sit. Girlfriend will sit down in church. This is crazy. But what actually now caused the whole fight issue? Remember that I told you that she actually worked as an agent for Prophet Omoto Fufuni and also Dr. Chris, that she helped them out to actually settle a particular case. And she was promised to be paid 35 million naira or 40 million. She asked her what she wanted, which car she wanted. She mentioned Lexus. They said the price of Lexus was going to be expensive. So they said, okay, choose a particular car that is actually good for you. And she chose 35 million naira car. And it was said that Prophet Omoto Fufuni sent the money to Pastor Chris, right? She sent the money to Pastor Chris, and after she sent that money to Pastor Chris didn't tell her that he had actually sent any money to her. After much, he started sending the money, 1 million, 2 million, 1,000, 10,000. And she was not there in the relationship. She just wanted the money that was supposed to be paid to her. And she said throughout the relationship, she didn't collect a dime apart from the 300,000 naira that she later collected. She had 100,000 naira that she asked for when she said she needed about 1 point something million naira. She asked for something from him, but she decided not to give him. So after that, called him out in 2024. They arrested her. They arrested her. From her arrest, she lost her brother, because it was at that point that she lost her brother. That was why she was complaining about the fact that she lost her brother. Her brother just died. And it was at that time that she also went for fibroid surgery. After she went for a fibroid surgery again, I'm like, no, what again? They said she died. She came back alive. According to her, she made it known that she was gone, but something just came back. And that was why she doesn't even care any longer. Immediately she woke up back, she started dragging him. They took her again to the FCID. When 4 days to the burial of this brother, they arrested her again. That was when they actually settled. They came out, he paid a certain amount, it remained another 15 million naira, and it has been a tussle since then. It brought the attention of Omoto Fufuyin back into the equation, and he was like, no, he had paid him full, So hearing all of these stories, I'm not like, where exactly can we believe as a true man of God? That is it for me. He cannot actually hold his orgy, his horniness, or his being horny. Why couldn't he have gotten married and explained to the children? Why having to do it outside marriage as a pastor? And there were other stories from other people, different stories up and down. At this point, according to what I'm actually saying, she has actually released a particular picture of him, which you are seeing on your screen right now. She released this picture of him, saying that she's going to release the nude of him. So when is this going to actually end? Because according to her, she said she has so many evidences to bring him down, and that she's just starting. And to be very honest, many people on social media are saying, "Oh, guy, if you have evidences, bring them out. Let the internet scatter." But I don't even know what is right at this point. So do you actually think she should actually bring all of this out? Because don't you think, I don't even know. But let me know what you think in the comment section about this matter. From all you've heard from me and all you heard from her, what do you actually think? So trust men of God nowadays is crazy, because this story seems to be true and evidences are already getting to be popped out. And that's why I actually blame people that are actually fueling her to actually bring out more evidence. Because by the time you actually fuel her to get more crazy, the more you actually want to make her more angry, the more she starts releasing evidences to back up her claim. And you are going to tarnish the image and the marriage that she's just been set. Remember that these people just got married. Remember that he just invited David Abioye to actually God. Pastor Ashimolowo was there. Many other big men of God was also there. Titled men of God was also at this program during their wedding. If they actually get to know about the real situation of this man of God, what is? It's very, very sad. And it's a shame that these are the kind of people that actually bring taint. And even if he had said he has actually repented and all of these things, who will believe? What will the social media see?